I should have took another thick coat. It was that cold.
God, sounds ominous, mush.
Uh, Gary, I've what looks like me last night.
What, freezing?
So good afternoon. This feels weird. The sun is shining. Well, not in Workington, but it's shining in my window. Uh, welcome to welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media. Where today we bring you a watch along of the Workington Comets versus the Poole Pirates in the second leg of Wednesday's meeting. And today I'm delighted, as always, to be joined by Mr. Dylan Hodge. It's just the OGs tonight, sir.
Yeah, just you and me today. It's a bit too early for Callum and Alan, but this should be good.
Hopefully, it should be a good meeting.
And we've both said that with Workington, this track can offer some brilliant racing, so we should be in for a treat and a nice Grand Prix warm up.
Hopefully, if these guys could get the whole meeting done before 5:30, that would be greatly appreciated. Please, thanks, love you, Workington, and all of that.
Before 4:30, it'd be nice so I can order my Chinese so it'll turn up before the Grand Prix starts.
Well, if you need to go on mute for if you need to go on mute for 5 minutes, we understand.
We don't have a captain for Workington by the looks of it. Oh yeah,
Is,
they ain't given Troy Batchelor the gig after last time.
that's understandable.
That was a disaster, weren't it? Shall we just quickly
Well,
cover last night's meeting before we kick on with this one?
if we have to.
I feel like we need to touch on it.
Yeah, obviously we'll have been. I'm assuming we're doing a watch along on Wednesday.
Yeah, with me
Well,
and Alan,
be you
in
and Alan.
theory, whilst you sit there and scream
And,
how bad certain people are.
and cry myself to sleep again. um. So yeah, last night, uh, a tale of two halves.
Yeah.
First half, Scunthorpe very good. Second half, Oxford very good. And I mean, I, having a number one that scores 3 points is not going to win you a meeting.
Not against an Oxford team that strong.
That as much as I'm certainly not Oxford's top fan on Facebook. Let's put it that way. But against a team as strong as Oxford, you need all seven to be firing, and unfortunately, I think it's safe to say the Scorpions only had three firing, and
It was about a 5.5 man team, weren't it, last night?
I wouldn't even go that far.
I'd wrap a couple of them into sort of 1.5 rather than two. One of them didn't even bother showing up.
I mean, yeah, but there's no real surprise. The big rumour mill going round at
Hmm.
Scunthorpe is that certain rider won't be returning next season.
But on a
But yeah,
positive note, Luke Harrison was blinding.
what a night. He even said after the meeting that was one of the best performances of his season, and it's kind of hard to disagree with that. Really, he was very good.
Oh God, this track looks a bit.
They've had a lot. They've had a lot of rain during overnight
Natural
and during
water.
the morning.
Natural water.
Not uh, not fan powers, artificial water.
I love that they're doing a track walk with a guest.
Who did they do the track walk with last night?
David Howe.
Not a bad person to have on a track walk, to be fair.
I love that David Howe had Ryan Douglas's scunny coat on. Still had Ryan
Scunny are too,
Douglas's name on it.
Scunny are too tight to buy riders brand new coats. This is why they keep with the majority of the same team.
That does make sense. I do understand this track walk with Charles Wright. Obviously, he's coming in as guest. I'd imagine that the actual, fully fledged Workington riders may be feeling a little bit more pressure. You don't have such pressure coming in as a guest. He'll still want to do
No.
well, but obviously he won't be feeling it maybe quite so much as your Batch and your Vulas and riders like that.
Oh, I'd dread to think what a track walk with Batch would be like.
Yeah, and me.
Um,
Is that stand
but
always there, or has this been put in for this?
no, that's done.
Oh, okay.
That it was there when I went anyway. When Scunny was there.
I do hear on the old grapevine that Workington may be considering moving up, and if they put floodlights in here, this would be a brilliant addition to the top league.
That would be a brilliant addition. It's a brilliant little setup. There's one slight problem with Workington, and unfortunately, it's something that can't be changed.
What's that then?
It's in the middle of nowhere, and
Hmm.
it is quite difficult to find, even with the signs.
It's a bit like Scunny. I remember going to Scunny for the first time, and we ended up going to these factories where the track actually is the back of, but you have to drive further up the road to find it.
Pretty much, yeah. Um, yeah, like when we went to Workington, I think we got into Workington, and there's a Morrison's, and just outside the Morrison's, there's a sign that says Speedway Turn Right.
Hmm.
You go down there for about 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, and then you're in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and you're thinking, "Oh bloody hell, where's this place?" And then it just all of a sudden creeps up on you.
Creeps up on you as much as a big speedway track can. Bartosz Blair is pulling
Yes.
pulling a good one this week. Obviously, last night at Scunny, tonight here.
Well,
It's,
for someone like Bartosz Blair, that's an oldie for him.
we have the gates, which we'll look at in a minute once we do the lineups. I'm just going to sort my program. So, do you want to read out the two lineups to us, Mush?
So for the Workington Comets, who have a 14-point advantage to overcome, at number 7, he still exists, Sam McGurk. At number 6, he
Any
was
at
very
number
impressive
6,
on.
or have they swapped
I
them
don't know.
round?
I don't know. I'm just going by
Uh,
the.
oh no, it looks like
I'm
Sam
just
McGurk
going.
is at number 7 because he was at number 6 the other night, weren't he? Or did I imagine
I'm just going. I'm just going by the program BSN have provided.
that? How nice of him.
So at number 7, he exists, Sam McGurk. At number 6, he was very, very impressive on Wednesday night, Paul Stark. At number 5, Troy Batchelor. He just kind of does his thing. At number 4, the first guest of tonight, Daniel Thompson. Come all the way from Plymouth Awards night last night. Poor guy.
Where I imagine he
At number,
swept up pretty much everything.
I know he swept up Plymouth Rider of the Year, but let's be honest,
There
nobody
was
else is going to
absolutely
win
no
that.
contest. I imagine it was a good night to be a Thompson twin last night at that. To be honest,
I hope they was provided with a free bar at least to celebrate. awards. At 3, Anti Vulas. At number 2, another guest, Mr. Happy himself, Jason Edwards. And at number 1, another guest, Charles Wright. So yeah, more guests than a premier in here. And I'll go down the pool ones real quick now anyway. At number 7, Spinny Vinny Ford. At number 6, Tobias Thompson with the scary beard. At number 5, Tom Brennan, who can ride his bike really well. At number 4, Big Cook, Zach Cook. At number 3, Little Cook, Ben Cook. At number 2, Sam Hagen, who kind of just exists. And at number 1, apparently he's a rocket man. He's Elton John Jr., Richard Lawson.
Do you want to do your riders to watch first, Mush?
So, man to watch for Workington, I've gone for Anti Vulas. He is very, very good around Workington, and he could very well score quite a few points this afternoon. And for the Pirates, I've gone for Zach Cook. It's probably safe to say Zach's probably gone a little bit under the radar at the moment, but he always knows when the time is right to come good, and I feel as though tonight is that night or afternoon.
It's weird doing one in an afternoon, isn't it?
It hit.
It really is. For me, I'm going to go for Troy Batchelor for Workington. He absolutely flies around this track, and when he's at home, especially, he's very, very tough to beat. For Poole, I'm going to go with Thomas Brennan. He's just in good form. It's a big, wide open track, similar to Bellevue, where he made his name for a few seasons in the top league. So I think he'll be absolutely fine round here. Although noticeable people to watch also could be Paul Stark and Vinnie Ford, who are probably, with all due respect to Sam McGurk and Tobias Thompson, are probably the better of the two reserves, certainly on recent form.
Can't disagree with that.
And Poole are going to need Tobias Thompson to step up as well, because he was. I don't think there's any harm in saying he was appalling on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's certainly seen better evenings.
It's a red car hit one pairing for Workington as well.
And both of them guys, Charles Wright and Jason Edwards, representing Redcar in the CLRC tomorrow.
Which you're going to?
Yeah, that's a plan. Right, he was always in.
Even with the
Right,
changes to the lineup.
Simon Lambert riding, say no more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So if you are in Redcar tomorrow, well, Middlesbrough technically, and you are at the CLRC and you do see me, I am a size Newcastle Brown Ale, and I will take them in as many quantities as you guys can afford and more. Basically, please just remortgage your house and buy me all the Newcastle Browns in Middlesbrough Speedway.
We're still toying with whether we're going to do a Premiership watch along on Monday or Thursday. That was really fun doing the one last week. To be honest, it was really, really fun. I'm glad we didn't do the one on Thursday because it went a little bit late and it was very dramatic.
Just a tad.
Just a wee bit.
Just a tad.
But we will have one of those two covered. It'll probably be Monday, being as we've got Oxford and Scunny on Wednesday rather than going back to back. But we'll confirm that because Bellevue always offers up good racing. To be fair,
I mean,
more often than not.
Here's a little idea.
Oh, I like when you have an idea, unless it's a bad one.
I don't. So
it's dangerous.
So, as part of Shoot Some Shale, we do have 4 people that can talk about Speedway.
We only have certain people available on certain days, though. I don't think Callum would be around Monday or Thursday because he usually does his rugby coaching, doesn't he?
I wasn't thinking Monday for Callum. I thought me and Cal could maybe do the Thursday one.
I don't think Cal's around on a Thursday.
if if he's not available, it isn't a problem. It was just an idea.
Someone could pull double duty and we'll maybe cover both. Again, like we keep saying, we're coming towards the end of the season, aren't we? So we might as well bomb in as many as we can and give Alan a couple of more tests before we decide whether it's P45 or a new contract for next season.
Well, this is it, and I mean, this is sort of like why I'm going to Redcar tomorrow. Like my auntie saw the post regarding all the lineup changes, and she said to me, "Do you still really want to go?" I said, "A, my train's booked, and I can't get a refund yet. And B, it is a very long off
It's a long
season,
winter, yeah.
and you just kind of at this. It's like the start of the season, really. You just want to keep cramming in as much as you can until you get bored of it,
And then
and
you've got 6 months to kind of have a break from it, and then it's back to cramming it all in again.
then you have 6 months of forgetting absolutely how abysmal your team is, and then we start again in March. We get filled full of hope and joy to be let down again.
Come again in September, and another letdown.
Yes.
And I think you've got one more guaranteed meeting at the Eddie Wright with the BSN series.
Yes, confirmed for next Friday, um, which is against Edinburgh, where Scunthorpe hold a 9 point lead on aggregate. But
With recent performances at the Eddie Wright, there's the
with
potential that
recent
won't be enough.
with recent performances at Scunthorpe, I would not be surprised if Edinburgh come and turn us over at home. And to be honest, having to face Poole in the final wouldn't be a bad thing. And it gives Edinburgh that last chance to say a proper final farewell to Josh Pickering.
Yeah, and it's one of them. For me, if I was in charge at Scunny last night, the number one in particular, I'd have been sacking him on the spot. But then they've
Mm.
somehow got to try and G him up and G the boys up for one last hurrah, especially after Wednesday. If you go out, you've then got to regroup again and go again Friday.
I mean, it's been realistic now that Scunny's chance of the playoff final is over, and
Yeah.
even if even if we did go through, it was over.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, we just need to put a decent performance in at Oxford just to not disgrace ourselves too much, and then see what happens on Friday. But yeah, not the best of situations.
And it is crap because almost the entire season you've been nigh on untouchable at the Eddie Wright, hitting 50, 55 points more often than not, and then lost against Poole last week in the cup, and then lost again last night after such a good start as well. What has changed?
Like I said to you, sort of like before we went live, you would not have thought that team had a pre-meeting practice during the day,
No.
in which Rob Godfrey said to the boys, "This is how the track's gonna be when I prepare it after your practice. Go out there and just make the most of it. Test different lines and everything." The fact Sam Masters top scored at Scunthorpe says it all.
Yeah, that's true. But the overriding feeling, like certainly for me as a neutral, was there was some fantastic racing last night. I
It,
know it's difficult to
that
watch as a Scunny fan, but there was generally some really good racing.
I am, to be fair, I am looking forward just to watching it back.
Hmm.
Um, just like because it's when you've been to a meeting, you know what happens.
Hmm.
And when you want to watch it back, it's not to be disappointed. Well, to an extent. Um, but yeah, I think certain riders may already understand that they're not required in 2025.
And I do feel a little bit for. We've touched on Luke Harrison, but obviously he got himself into some good positions. Certainly, he four was one where he was leading Scott Nichols, and the more experienced riders in the team maybe let him down a little bit by just leaving him to fend for himself. Whereas 2-3 points
Mm.
were dropped by that. And they could have been the difference between taking a lead and taking a deficit.
Yeah, 100%. It would have been nice to see a bit more team riding from certain members of the team. Um,
The experienced ones in particular.
yeah, 100%. And but yeah, no complaints from Lou. He fully deserved his crack in 13, and to me, he certainly proved he can mix it with the big boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, depending on what the Rising Star rule is for next year, I know he's got a plan, but he'll certainly have a few people coming on the phone to him, I think, just to put the feelers out. Whether he accepts or not, different story, but there'll certainly be some interest in him. And rightfully so.
And if his dad's anything to do with the deals, it'll be, you're not bloody going there. You've got to work for me during the day.
Whether he accepts or not. Just doing
The
a sound
joys.
check. We sound quite good. So this track doesn't look overly great though to start with. It looks a little bit on the old damp side. Good job this sent Oxford, it'd have been off.
I'm gonna say this track just looks just like Oxford before they started the work on the track, and these boys aren't afraid to get it on.
You mean the work that ultimately made the track worse?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. And we are getting ready for the final 15 heats of this semi-final. 16 if we go to a super heat for the win. If it's tied up at 90 apiece, but I'll be honest, I can't see that happening. Palmer, quick prediction for on the day.
43-47.
I'm going to say 48-42 to Poole. The lineup for heat number 1 then, going off the inside gate in yellow for the Pirates is Sam Hagan. Gate 2 in blue is the guest for Workington, Jason Edwards. Gate 3 in white, the highest averaged rider in the league this season off Gate 3, Richard Lawson. And off the outside in red, another guest for Workington, Charles Wright.
Workington Premier in Comets. That's the
Red car
that's
versus
got a
Poole,
ring
heat
to it.
number 1. And both of the semi-finals, I've pointed this out before, but both the semi-finals have very much a kit clash. It's the battle of the blue and whites versus the battle of the blue, white, and fluorescent yellows.
It is. And we'll touch more on that after heat number 1 as start match walks away with a bit of nibble left from Richard Lawson off gate 3, but it's Jason Edwards that takes the lead, and he leads the pool pairing. Now, what can the rider in red, Charles Wright, do? Is he cuts around the outside there of Sam Hagan. So Jason Edwards, Mr. Happy, leads this way over Richard Lawson there in the second position, and Charles Wright's chasing down Richard Lawson now. But with how wet this track is, it's virtually a one-liner track at the current point of time. But Jason Edwards gated perfectly. He's leading this one by example, and it sounds very silly. He could be a favourite for the CLRC tomorrow against the highest average rider in the league, who's not really putting Jason Edwards under any pressure. If anything, Wright is starting to catch up to Richard Lawson now, but I think it's a little too late challenge for Righty as Jason Edwards takes the win, and the Comets get off to a decent start. And I would not want to be Charles Wright's washing machine in the morning.
It's got those beautiful Oxford Kevlars on, the nice white ones, in it. You would have got long odds on
Mm.
that result, I think it's fair to say. The uh,
Yeah,
the result of Heat 1 was a win for the rider in blue, Jason Edwards, second in white, Richard Lawson, and third in red, Charles Wright. That's a 4-2 for the Comets on the day. Narrows the aggregate deficit now to 12 points.
yeah, it does. And
That was messy. I wouldn't be surprised to see. Certainly Sam Hagan was rolling a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see a warning or two there.
from the angle we had at the very, very start, which is right by the tapes, it did look like Richard Lawson had a little teeny weeny nibble, but from a far away shot, you couldn't really see it. But Jason Edwards just got to the first turn, he knew what he was doing, and away she wrote.
And we've both said this is a brilliant track for racing. I think this is sort of what we're going to get until the wet, sloppy stuff off the top turns over.
Yeah, I'd expect so.
And the man in red here, Paul Stark, could be pivotal if this points gap is to be brought in.
Very, very impressive on Wednesday night.
Yeah, the move from Glasgow weakened Glasgow, but did Paul Stark the world of good going to Workington, where he's really seemed to have found his mojo again now.
I mean, who wouldn't want to ride this track week in, week out?
It's a very nice track in it, and Vinnie
It's
Ford made a successful return as well the other night.
Yeah, he did 3 races and he didn't fall off once.
Only
What a
3
boy!
points, but 3 important points, and when Tobias Thompson was struggling as well, you know,
Mm.
the lineup for Heat 2 going off the inside gate in red is Paul Stark, gate 2 in white Tobias Thompson, gate 3 in blue is Sam McGurk, and off the outside in yellow Vinnie Ford. Sam McGurk had a decent night last night at Edinburgh in the double header for the National League team, so that should have done his confidence the world of good.
Hopefully it did. Oh, we've got 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people watching. Um, I will say it now very quickly. Please don't be afraid to join the chat. We don't bite unless you have cake.
Sam McGurk has done one practice start and his Kevlars are filthy.
That poor, poor washing machine.
These are the conditions you don't want white Kevies in, aren't they?
It looks a bit chilly there. The start marshals had to put the big thick coat on. And he walks away. The tapes rise. Away he goes. A decent start for Sam McGurk, who maybe had a little nibble, but it's Paul Stark that gets the lead, then followed by the rider in. Is that white or
Yeah,
yellow? I can't
white.
really see.
Tobias
Uh,
Thompson's in second.
Tobias Thompson is second, with Sam McGurk going wide there in third. What can Vinnie Ford do?
Done him.
Bound straight up the inside, and all of a sudden it's a 3-3. And Sam McGurk,
There's no
I
other way
like
to put it. He's poor.
I like Stab as a lad, I really do, and his brother, but he he is very crap. Um, sorry, Sam. But Paul Stark, on the other hand, he's not very crap. He's winning this one in style out in front. Tobias Thompson settling there in second place. Vinny there in third. He's not fallen off yet, so he's certainly doing something right. Um, and Tobias Thompson starting to put a bit of pressure on Paul Stark now as Thompson goes wide, but Stark just holds the right line and keeps him at bay. And that is a 3-3.
And Paul will be happy with that, I think, especially considering it started out as a 4-2 to Workington. It'll just settle the nerves a little bit. Tobias Thompson looks solid enough there as well. Sam McGurk was there. I know he's inexperienced compared to the other 3. Well, 2 of the other 3, but that was shocking. The result of Heat 2 is a win for the rider in red, Paul Stark, second in white Tobias Thompson, and third in yellow Vinnie Ford. Made a good start, did Sam?
He did. But, I think he may have had a little nibble. But, at this point here, as we're watching the replay, he comfortably held that third place.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know
Vinnie.
what it is. As soon as Vinny passed him, he just sort of like just lost all confidence.
He does run a bit wide, exiting 3, and it is difficult conditions for a kid, but he's been poor all
That
season, innit, to be honest.
that lad has ridden Scunthorpe in a lot wetter conditions.
And this is the engine rooms. You've got to say, you've got to fancy the pool engine room here.
I don't know, Antti Vulas is very, very good round here, and Dan Thompson's had the season of his life. Ben Cook naturally is very, 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 very good.
My only
And
argument is Dan Thompson's had the season of his life on Ipswich and Plymouth, which are both considerably smaller than this.
which that is a fair point, but you look at his scores, though he's scored consistently, virtually everywhere.
Yeah.
Apart from when he was injured and he sort of, and when he was just coming back, he wasn't scoring great. But
So the lineup for Heat 3 going off the inside gate in white for the Pirates is Ben Cook. Gate 2 in blue is Dan Thompson. Gate 3 in yellow, Zach Cook. And off the outside in red is Antti Vulas. Dan Thompson wearing his Team GB Kevlars. It's nice to see one of the Thompson boys guesting and not wearing their Plymouth suit.
We're looking at you, Joe Thompson. Maybe that's the only suit Joe's got now.
Well, he did have a Leicester Cubs one, but that disappeared as well.
Maybe he had to sell it or give it back to the club. Who knows? But heat number 3 then. The Dark Marshal getting them into order and walks away. Blue moved.
Dan
was,
Thompson will be warned for that, and that should be stopped because he's gained an advantage. Although he's in second.
Yeah, the reds are out.
That'll be a warning for the rider in blue there. Clear movement. Reds went on a little bit late there.
Just a little bit. As you see the replay there.
Very lucky not to touch tapes, to be honest.
Very close to touching them.
And Ben Cook will be ruined that because he was away and gone.
He was. I've always wondered at this point now what goes through a rider's mind.
The Poole mechanics are a little bit slow coming out.
Just a tad like. As we see the Heat 3 replay again.
Even on that camera angle, which is so crap for the start of races, you can see the Dan moves.
There was clear movement, wasn't there?
And that'll do Workington good because Antti Vulas was at the back at that point.
Workington team managers shouting for someone to come over from the pits. Somebody's coming.
Antti Vulas' mechanic has been summoned at high speed.
That poor white waist suit is already filthy of that cups. He's done one bend.
Yeah.
It looks a bit breezy like.
And there is a warning for Dan Thompson. Same 4 riders, same 4 gates, but with Dan Thompson on a warning.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to think these 4 riders across their heats tonight could be the difference between their respective clubs winning and losing. The engine room's really where your points. You expect it from the heat leaders, but to have a strong engine room and can really make a difference.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Second chance here for Antti Vulas in heat number 3. Dark Marshal walks away, tapes right away we go. And it's the Pirates that get out there in first and second positions, although Dan Thompson looking to have a look up the inside, and now Zach Cook's been relegated towards the back. So Ben Cook it is that has the lead. Now Dan Thompson there in second. Zach Cook looking to come up the inside of Antti Vulas. Done him just about there on the first turn. And now Zach Cook set his sights on the rider in blue, Dan Thompson. Antti Vulas is just a finished Sam McGurk, to be fair. He's miles behind now. But Ben Cook, he is absolutely flying. He's my pick for tomorrow's CLRC. There's no way no one's going to be beating him. He's already 500 miles out in front. Almost like a proclaimer, really. But the big battle still for second. Dan Thompson still heading off. Zach Cook, but as they come round Ben 3 and 4 for what I believe is the final time, Ben Cook won that as a canter, Dan Thompson second, and Big Cook third.
Zach will be disappointed with that because he made a really good gate and absolutely bottled the first bend. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that one, I think. The result of Heat 3 was a win for the rider in white, Ben Cook, second in blue, Dan Thompson, and third in yellow, Zach Cook. I think it's safe to say Antti Vulas does not like wet conditions.
No.
That ties the score up on the day at 9 apiece, and Poole restore their 14-point aggregate lead. So they are now 29 points away from securing mathematical qualification on the Magic 90. It's a bit windy by the look of those tapes.
Pretty much.
Tell me that Dan Thompson passed Zach Cook from that start. My God, how did he get that so wrong?
He just went wide.
Nothing out there yet, is there?
Well, he didn't. He didn't even go wide. He went mid-track.
No man's land, as we all like to call it.
Yeah, there. That sounds like a good night out. That.
Where you may survive, you may not, but sod it, who cares?
Exactly.
Be interesting to see if Vinnie Ford retains his spot here. Tom Brennan's got another new helmet on. That might
How
be the
many
same.
helmets does that man have?
I think that was the same one he wore at Leicester the other night, but he's had a few any this season. May as well have just got the
Just a
one
few.
individual coloured ones and add a red, white, blue, and yellow one.
That's what I'd have done.
The lineup for Heat 4 going off the inside gate in yellow is Vinnie Ford. Gate 2 in blue, reserve change. Paul Stark comes in for Sam McGurk. Gate 3 in white is Tom Brennan. And off the outside in red is Troy Batchelor. I can understand why Paul Stark's in here, but then again, you know, if this was to just be a shared heat, you know, Sam McGurk still has to take 2 rides and, you know, Paul leaving Vinnie Ford in, and let's be honest, Tobias Thompson looked very competitive in his first one, so...
He did. I can understand why, obviously, the Comets brought Starkey out.
They
You
want to
know,
close the aggregate down early on, don't they?
they need to hit back here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, if come heats 12 and 14 all is said and done, then they may as well give Sam McGurk his final 2 rides then.
And Tom Brennan, I remember, was really good here earlier in the season.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the tapes rise for him
Carnage.
Paul Starks on his ass. That rhymes.
I think he could have got up there. That could be an interesting one. Vinnie Ford's nearly
Oh,
stacked it.
Vinnie Ford nearly went.
I'll be interested to see that back. I think there was contact, but I think Paul Stark goes down looking for it. I'd like to see that back again before
Them
giving my
Kevlars and back
50p.
covers of Vinnie Fords. Oh my god. R.I.P. to every washing machine in the UK.
Looking at yellow and blue. I don't think Vinnie Ford does a lot wrong there. Stark's coming across Vinnie's line.
It's first bend in it. It's one of them.
I'd be interested to see that again from this angle though. Yeah, there is contact. It'll be all 4, but although it does drop it delayed. It will be all 4, but I could maybe see a case for Starkey going.
Nah, that's got all 4. Well, depending on who the referee is. That's the important bit. If it's Christina Trunchbull, sorry, I mean Turnbull, then if it's Christina, then Batch goes for that.
You're off to see the Trunchbull. I think Starkey's gone. He's walking back into the pits while all the other riders are on the track. Has Starkey been excluded for that?
We've Workington got exclusion lights anyway.
Says all 4 back on Speedway updates, but Starkey's left the track. I mean, you are allowed to if you're the rider that's come down, but the fact that he's done trudging, like the 2 minutes could come back on at any time, and he's, you know, all the way in the pits.
And them pits are not small pits either. They're quite a long way from the track, to be fair.
Look at that nice mountain of dirt. Oh, we're going to have a delay. Of course we're going to have a bloody delay.
Well, while we've got a delay, I'll fill my GP race sheet in.
I don't really see the need for a delay, to be perfectly honest.
So, Starkey can sort his other bike out.
Yeah, but it wasn't a big crash or anything like that. There's not going to be a massive amount of work to do. It'll just be getting a bit of dirt out from it. It's just a delay for the sake of having one.
In it.
Mr. Smiley being interviewed by the Bartosh that counts. Every time I see
Aye.
that hat, I still think it says Shagger.
That
Every
could
time.
always be arranged.
They are coming back round. Has Starkey gone?
That's we will soon see.
Does say all fall back on the old
Oh, obviously,
updates.
obviously, we have to watch this on mute so we can bring this adequate content to you.
Our
I
first
couldn't think
hand
of another word.
reactions.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
here
here.
comes Starkey.
And
It's only 6 years late.
Poole will be ruined their luck there because they were on a 5-1 when it was stopped. I know Starkey, there was contact between Starkey and Vinny, but Batch was absolutely nowhere.
It was nowhere to be seen, was he?
No. Same four riders, same four gates.
That's where the way we go. What a start from Tom Brennan there. That was jet propel. That Paul Starkey's given up already. Oh,
Oh!
Brennan's on his bum.
Yeah, the big question here is, was Stark under power when the Reds came on?
No,
Because he was just tootling around, but was he under power? And decisions like that can maybe have an impact on the final score. He was just tootling round. Was he under power? That'll be the question.
I don't think he was. And for me, for that, Brennan
Brennan goes.
goes.
Brennan 100% goes for that. It's just a question of whether it's going to be Batch versus Vinny or whether Starkey was under power. For me, he's not. And
I don't
obviously,
think he was.
knowing Tom from this year, he's going to be fuming with that because he'd done the hard work.
Yeah.
But we could get a double exclusion there.
I would not be
There should be a
surprised.
double exclusion.
Well, a Workington fan in the group chat. I can't exactly say,
Yep, double
but we have got a
exclusion.
double exclusion.
Correct decision, I think. What has said Workington fan said?
Uh, I can't really repeat it because of explicit language. But it was a word that rhymes with hockey puck off ref.
I think that's absolutely the correct decision.
I can't say I disagree.
Stark packs up there. It's whether he's under power,
Hmm?
but there's nothing there. There's no acceleration. He's slowing down. So for me, he's not under power there. Vinny does well to avoid Tom.
If Troy Batchelor can't beat Spinny Vinny, then he seriously needs to think about retirement.
Stark's coming out moaning. He's not under power. I don't know what the complaint's about.
You'll be, probably show it under power, just bike was a little bit slow.
He's going to talk to the referee.
Uh,
The ref won't change his mind. I think the ref for this is Paul Carrington. He's no Graham Hunter.
I was going to say we had Paul Carrington at Scunny last night.
It's Graham
If it's
Hunter.
oh my god, if it's great, oh Jesus Christ!
What's going on?
No, Graham Hunter is a referee.
Oh, I think he's got that spot on. I think that's the correct decision. Stark had
That
no
was
interest in that first turn. You could see as soon as he left the tapes, he was feeling it with that bike, and he was just slowing down, tootling round, which means something had gone wrong. He's not under power when the red lights come on. He's correctly disqualified.
yeah, I can't disagree.
I don't understand what James Denham and Starkey were arguing about with the ref. He had no interest. He wasn't under power. There's nothing else to say, other than he needs to get a bit of a grip of his life.
Yeah, he does.
And as you like to call him, Spinny Vinny. Inside versus outside. This could be fun, but he's going to get, barring any form of mechanical failure, 2 points here, at least. Inside is
Well,
Vinny
he is.
Ford, outside Troy Batchelor, middle two excluded. Let's have a bit of fun, shall we?
Imagine being Troy Batchelor if he gets beaten by Spinny Vinny here.
Vinny's made two really good gates, though, to be fair to him.
He has. And
Imagine
Batcher's
be
made two very poor ones.
imagine being James Denham and wasting your reserve switch for him to just get disqualified.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Away we go. Reserve substitute is on the BSN screen, so if Martin Hunter is listening to us,
Which is
um,
absolutely
you know,
not, although it did go quickly.
well, see what I mean? Um, on with the racing as we expected. Batch is winning, and Spinny Vinny is there as well in second. Um, that's about as much as we can say at the
There's
moment.
not a lot to say on this one, is there?
There's not a lot's happening, is it? Um, yeah, Batch is still going round in front. We've got one lap left to go. And then hopefully we'll be able to talk to you about some proper racing after this next half a lap. But as we come round bends 3 and 4 for the final time, Bachelor wins. Well done, Vinnie Ford, for being able to see and get himself round because them Kevlars and bike covers are filthy.
Batch looking back at Vinny off the fourth turn as if to sort of say, "Oh, I see I'm beating you. If you'd have lost to him, that'd have been embarrassing. There's nothing to celebrate about that, you fucking weapon."
Ed, we would also like to apologise for any language that was said there.
Bachelor
It doesn't
annoys me.
happen.
Bachelor
It,
annoys me.
it doesn't happen very often.
The win for Troy Batchelor in red, second in yellow, Vinnie Ford, 12-11 on the day, and it's now a 13-point
13-point
advantage.
lead.
Now this is where numbers get a little bit thrown off. We need another two rider race to even it out.
I'm sure it could be arranged.
Can someone go and rob Troy Batchelor's cutout? I do like everything about this track as well.
It's a lovely little setup up there. Just if you go take the big coat.
Yeah. Did you have your big coat on at Scunny last night?
Yes, I did.
Was it a bit on the cold side?
Just a tad.
While we've got a break, shall we have a quick minute?
Yeah, why not? We're back. That was a quick minute.
Looks like it's going to piss it down. No wonder they're trying to get it through.
Definitely not because there's a GP.
Well, I wonder if they're going to show the GP tonight.
I haven't seen it advertised like they normally do. Maybe they're not. But yeah, Heat 5. Here we go. So I don't know if Dylan's gone to the dead, but Anti Viewless goes off gate 1, Sam Hagen gate 2, Dan Thompson gate 3, Richard Lawson off gate 4.
Lawson will be hoping for better this time out. Obviously, beaten first time out, something you don't see very often from old Lawson in this league, in particular. Well, in any league, to be honest.
Well, I saw his little post last night manifesting for a Polish league team.
Honestly, I don't know what else more he could do to put himself in their thoughts. I think he's a solid pair of hands.
I mean, he's done his more than his job for Leicester this season. He's done his job for the Pirates this season.
Yeah,
You know,
I do think there's riders in the Polish league that aren't as good as Richard Lawson. So if they can get a job, surely he can.
but it's one of them. The Polish like to look after their own, and more to come after Heat 5 as the tapes rise. Away we go. It's a very good start there for Sam Hagen in yellow now. Dan Thompson looks to come up the inside, so Dan Thompson leads left. Oh, that could have been nasty.
There's a soft patch on that back straight.
Richard Lawson now comes round the outside of Dan Thompson to take the lead, and now Anti Viewless comes underneath Sam Hagen, so normal service resumed there for Sam. But the rider in blue there's Dan Thompson's putting Richard Lawson under some pressure as they come down bends 3 and 4 for the second time, and you can't see now where Richard Lawson's going to lose this unless he has a bike failure.
Or it's that nice soft spot.
That's been a thing with Workington all season, or as well as there is a couple of soft spots on that track, and like Sam Hagen looks like he's really, really struggling. To be fair, at the minute, but yeah, that's a win for Richard Lawson, and things were a little bit better for him that time.
Anti Viewless still never looked comfortable though. That'll be a bit of a concern for Workington.
Just a tad.
The result of Heat 5 was a win for the rider in white, Richard Lawson, second in blue, Dan Thompson, and third in red, Anti Viewless. 15-14 on the day, 53-66 on the night.
Yeah, and it was Sam Hagen that made an absolutely perfect gate, and then he ended up coming last.
He ran that first turn completely wrong, stuck himself in our new favourite place, no man's land.
Yeah, I'm booking an holiday there right now.
You'd have got lung gods telling somebody Sam Hagen made a gate like that and ended up last after the second turn.
Yeah. Yeah, you would, yeah.
Would Richard Lawson have passed Dan Thompson if he doesn't hit that spot? To be fair, with the gap he won by in the end, probably.
Probably.
And it is almost the guests keeping Workington in this year.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit like with Ipswich, isn't it? The guests were doing the job better than some of their own riders on Monday and Thursday last week. In particular, the captain.
Yeah, 100%. All Ipswich fans pray that Danny King's elsewhere next year.
Knowing our luck, he'll be at bloody Birmingham. The line-up for Heat 6 going off the inside gate in white, Tom Brennan, gate 2 in red, Charles Wright, gate 3 in yellow, Tobias Thompson, and off the outside in blue, Jason Edwards, who impressively won Heat 1. And you'd have got lung odds on Tom Brennan being the only rider in this race to be on 0.
You would? Bold prediction here, I could see Jason Edwards ending up at Workington.
Yeah, potentially. He does ride the track well.
I'm sure. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure it was this season at some point he got his first ever full championship maximum around here.
Gate 3's not been great so far, and Tobias Thompson finds himself there now.
It's a graveyard, isn't it?
Graveyard, gate 3.
Gate's 1 and 4 are the place to be.
Same as at Scunny last night, weren't it?
Oh, if you had gate 4 at Scunny last night, that was it. You were gone.
They said on BSN actually Gate 1 had the same amount of wins as Gate 4, or it was near to.
Oh? We'll come back to talk about Gates at Scuddy, but That's his sub start there from Tom Brennan with Tobias Thompson there in second. Righty looking to put Tobias Thompson under pressure. Jason Edwards is at the back now. Righty's done Tobias Thompson there. Nice ride underneath Tobias Thompson now. Can Righty go and chase Tom Brennan? But Tobias is putting Righty under a bit of pressure there, and and Jason Edwards is about to come to the party as well. He's chasing down Tobias Thompson, but Richard Lawson's there out front. Not Richard Lawson, it's Tom Brennan. Sorry, Tom. You're definitely not. You're definitely not Richard. You've got a nicer colour hair.
And a bit shorter.
Yeah. And just as we say that, his name comes up on the screen as well. Oh, I've had a mare there.
In all seriousness, though, Tom did Tobias no favours into that third turn of the first lap.
No, he didn't.
He was on his own line, but he also ended up running Tobias wider than he'd have liked and opened the door for Righty. The result of heat number 6, it was a win for the rider in white, Tom Brennan, second in red, Charles Wright, and third in yellow, Tobias Thompson, and Poole take the lead on the day. 17 points to 18, and they extend the aggregate lead now to 15 points. And they're just 20 points away from the... Well, there's 1 point less on offer now, so 19 points away from the old magical... Well, 89 as it is now. Paul Stark has completely ruined all of our brains. Imagine if he'd had just kept under power.
It's not hard, is it? It's not hard.
You ain't going to twist your throttle and bike go fast if you got no power in it.
Oh, just run round with it for 4 laps. I mean, Stark is an athlete. I'm sure he'd be able to do that.
Start Marshall looks a little bit on the old cold side.
It don't look very warm in Workington. I must admit.
Yeah, it does not look very warm. The lineup for heat number 7 going off the inside gate in red is Troy Batchelor. Gate 2 in white, impressive winner first time out, Ben Cook. Gate 3 in reserve change in blue is Sam Hagan, and off the outside in yellow Zach Cook and Sam McGurk. Sorry, not Sam Hagan. Too many Sams.
R.I.P. To Sam McGurk.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of rides to come into. This is it. And it is difficult when you're struggling anyway, and you're sort of being sacrificed for the harder races. You're taking one for the team almost, aren't
you? It's hard to see where Sam McGurk's making any money out of Speedway at the minute. It's not. He's even been struggling in the National League for Edinburgh.
He did well last night, to be fair to him.
Thanks for reminding me.
Oops. Was Dylan not supposed to say that?
No, until then I'd kind of forgotten Scuddy were at Edinburgh in the National League, pulling double duty, but tapes to his eyes on heat number 7, and it's Batshot has the lead over the rider in white, Ben Cook and Zach Cook there in the 3rd place, although these two Cook brothers, you know, it's like the old TV show, these two, like Big Cook, Little Cook, and Little Cook's just stormed underneath Troy Batchelor there. Great ride there from Ben Cook. Now Batch goes wide and looks to come back up the inside now with Ben Cook, but to be honest, I can only see Little Cook extending his lead now over Troy Batchelor. If anything, Zach Cook's going to get closer to Batch, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, Sam McGurk just kind of exists at this point. But yeah, that was a very nice move there from Benjamin Cook over Troy Batchelor to take the win, and Poole extend their lead now.
And in any other team, Ben Cook is a number 1. In this team, he's number 3. He's not even the second best heat leader.
100%.
And the result of Heat 7 was a win for the rider in white Ben Cook, second in red Troy Batchelor, and third in yellow Zach Cook. Just opens up Poole's lead now, 19-22 on the day, 57-74 on aggregate. Sam McGirt, you can't really say much about him there. It was a difficult ride to come into, to be honest, and we're all about pushing the British youngsters. That's just going to destroy his
doing
confidence.
doing this to a young British lad, it isn't going to help, is it?
No, it's
Um, I could sort of understand if he's had like a very good season, much like Luke at Scunthorpe last
mm,
night, getting Heat 13, because he's kind of earned that go at the bigger boys. But when you've had a season as poor as what Sam has,
and confidence will already be low.
exactly, he's, I hate to say it like this, but I could see Sam McGirt just giving it all up in the winter.
Yeah, let's hope we don't. You don't want to be keep seeing British riders retiring, and obviously now they've taken him out of a theoretically easier ride and replaced him with Paul Stark. It's you've got to get the
Mm.
points from where you can get them from. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tobias Thompson coming here as well, but I don't think he is. I think that's Vincent. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Workington 5-1 here, and they've got to do what they've got to do to try and close the gap, but doesn't help Sam's confidence, does it really?
No, 100%.
Line up for Heat 8, going off the inside gate in blue, the reserve switch, Paul Stark. Gate 2 in yellow, Vinnie Ford, who's been trapping like a demon today, to be fair. Gate 3 in red, Jason Edwards, and off the outside in white, Sam Hagan. Is this where Sam Hagan turns up? He did win Heat 8 at Wimborne Road Wednesday, but a little bit of a different prospect here.
Yeah, a little bit. It is in theory Sam's the easiest ride, so it's a race he should be winning. Um, but I'm sure that man there, the rider in red, will have something to say about that.
Look at the experience in this Workington pairing compared to the Poole pairing. Even Jason's been around for a while now.
It's been around a few years, like, hasn't he? Away we go for hit number 8. It's a great start there for Paul Stark in blue. Jason Edwards comes round the outside there in the red helmet colour, and now Spinny Vinny there in the yellow helmet colour comes round the outside of Paul Stark. Great ride there from young Vincent, but Jason Edwards has the lead there, and Vinny Ford in second,
He has
and
got some
Vinny
speed.
Ford has got some speed in that bike. He's going to be challenging Jason for the lead. There is Jason looks, and that
Ooh.
could have been nasty. A very good defensive ride there from Jason Edwards, and this challenge is far from over from Vinnie Ford here. Um, yeah, Vinnie Ford looks a little bit erratic on the bike, but it's very good for entertainment. Paul Stark's still in third, by the way, and Sam Hagan's still like at the back. I just thought I'd remind you because there's 4 riders in the race. Ford goes round the outside here, and he's done him.
What a ride! What a ride!
Wow,
What a
wow.
ride that was! I wouldn't be surprised if Vinny takes Sam Hagan's last ride either, to be honest.
Never would I. Wow.
That was fantastic. Craig Hurl, we love Spinny Vinny. Vinnie Ford could be a rider as well with the rising stars in the Premiership. Could be another rider who's on people's minds for next season.
Oh, 100%.
The result of Heat 8 was a win for the rider in yellow, Vinnie Ford, second in red, Jason Edwards, and third in blue, Paul Stark. Fantastic ride that was. He looked quick all the way around and smart. Smart switch of line on the last lap.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And you've said this to me before. Again, the move to Leicester has destroyed Sam Hagan.
It has. You know, like at the start of the season, you wouldn't have thought you'd get these kind of rides from Sam Hagan.
Vinny did him no favours in the second turn, but then he was on the inside. It was his line to choose.
Exactly.
I thought Vinny was binning it there, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's what he'd normally do.
He's come back from his injury with a point to prove, and he's flying.
And I mean, technically, he's not, but Vinny Ford should have been the first name on Paul's team sheet. But as we witnessed, Richard Lawson is that.
Vinny would be a very good reserve again next season. To be honest, he's definitely a project that they could work on. And Midlow does love a homegrown project.
Yeah, 100%. It's a bit of
There were some questions asked when Max Perry was released for Vinny, and I think they've been justified now.
100%.
The lineup for Heat 9 going off the inside gate in blue on a warning, Dan Thompson. Gate 2 in white, Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in red is Antti Vulas. Been really disappointing actually this afternoon so far. And off the outside in yellow, Tobias Thompson. He will also be looking over his shoulder because if he underperforms in this one, Vinny might end up with another ride.
Big up, Spinny Vinny.
Hurley
Um,
says too much too soon for Sam. He's tinkered too much with his equipment too. I fully agree with everything that Craig said there. To be honest,
yeah, that and Leicester have really done Sam. To be fair,
maybe another full season at Championship level before moving to the Premiership would have helped him better.
I mean, it's what if you get the chance to become a rising star in the Premiership, you're gonna take it. But
Hindsight in it.
yeah, it's a wonderful thing sometimes, and sometimes it's absolutely horrible. So, start my shorts away for Heat 9 and the tapes rise away we go. It's a very good start there for Tom Brennan there in the white helmet colour. I promise I wasn't about to say Richard Lawson there. But whoa, what a ride from Antti Vulas there to come round the outside of Tom Brennan. And whoa,
There he
he's
goes.
on it.
There's the customary fall that we're all used to seeing from Tobias Thompson.
Who does Tobias Thompson think he is? Spinny Vinny?
Tumbling Tobias, is it now?
That's the one.
I was told he rode a brand new engine fresh out the box that hadn't been tuned the other week. Oh, God. Tumbling Tobias. Vinny Ford could be very busy. He wouldn't be a pool meeting if Tobias Thompson didn't end up on his arse, would it?
Oh no.
And he's hurt again. He's doing the moonwalk. He must have a thing. He must have a thing for paramedics. He's got to have.
Well, I mean, if that's what he's into, then
And he'll be excluded for that. Harry Potter's gone to check on him.
yeah. He must have used his magic wand because Tobias Thompson looks absolutely fine now. He looked hurt about 25 seconds ago.
And I think Tom will be happy with that rerun as well because he might be able to block off Anti-Vulas's outside dive. Track's dried out
Oh,
and Anti-Vulas
100%.
has turned up. That is an hard fall. Just misses the air fence.
Yeah, it's a very, very good job he didn't go any further, otherwise he'd have ended up under a tractor.
I reckon that would probably be the end of Tobias Thompson's afternoon, to be honest.
And if he hits his head, probably his season.
Potentially, yeah. He looks alright now, though, to be fair. Just a little bit dirty.
I mean, that helmet's going to want some fairy liquid on it.
Tell me you don't look like a hairy Danny King from behind.
Yeah, it does. Just a little bit taller.
The posture's even the same. Harry Potter telling him that they're going to go and see Dumbledore. Why has this fella got shorts on? Is he alright?
It's well, he's. Could only assume that he's from that neck of the woods, and he's used to that. And if you're watching the BSN stream, you've got another interview with Spinny Vinny, who hasn't made any effort to clean his suit whatsoever.
He's staying grounded though, any Vinny Ford. We've said this before. He's definitely one of the more grounded up and coming riders.
Oh, 100%.
And you can massively see the improvement from when he debuted and couldn't even stay on the bike for Poole.
Oh, it was one of them, wasn't it? When he signed, we was virtually watching like Paul every beating.
Mm.
Well, we virtually have done all season. To be fair, Paul and Oxford. Thanks for riding on Wednesday, boys.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Um, yeah, especially when it's coming out of your nan's bank account. Whoa, did I say that out loud? Um, but yeah, I was on about Spinny Vinny, wasn't one. So I got a message. That was all. But yeah, we was watching Paul virtually every week, and when Vincent was signed by the Pirates, he was on his bum virtually every race he was in.
That was an all or nothing move, weren't it? It was clear enough of Stark to not have lost second if it had have gone a bit tits up
Mm.
unless he'd have crashed. But you know, meetings like this, bravery, fortune favours the brave, and it did there.
100%.
He just needs an haircut.
Yes, he does. It
And
almost looks like his girlfriend.
Tobias Thompson is disqualified, as expected. Tom Brennan gets a second bite of the cherry, made a good start, but Antti Vulas got the first and second turn spot on.
And if Tom Brennan eats cherries in 2 bites, there's something wrong. Cherries are tiny.
Oh,
Anti-Viewless looks like he could do with some more sponsors on that bike. They're a
looks a
bit
bit plain,
plain.
doesn't it? Yeah, looks a little bit plain. So, same, well, 3 of the 4 riders. Tobias Thompson disqualified, Dan Thompson off 1, Tom Brennan off 2, Antti Vulas off 3. Let's see how this one goes.
A rider might win it this side of Christmas.
Hurdley says feel for Toby, had a tough season, losing a close friend and some heavy falls. He has had a few really heavy
He has, to be
falls.
fair. Yeah, he has, to be fair.
He started really well and we all thought he's going to really kick on. It has, one too many falls have maybe derailed him a bit, but I still think overall it's been a gamble worth taking.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot worse riders you could have had on a 4-point average. He's upped his average by 0.52. Heat number 9 anyway, tapes his rise, away we go. Tom Brennan's made the start, as we pretty much expected. Dan Thompson looks to come up the inside, not quite worked out there, and Tom Brennan's just virtually extended his lead a little bit. Thompson there in second, Vulas in third place now, and Vulas just goes underneath his teammate there for the afternoon, Dan Thompson. And Thompson goes back round the outside. So Tom Brennan, could go and get himself a crap hot dog, because the hot dogs at Workington are a bit crap. He can go get one of them. The 2 Workington boys could race each other for second and third, and they'd still come fourth in a 3-rider race. We've got 1 lap then left to go for this one. Tom Brennan is a country mile ahead, and no one's stopping him. And he comes down the home straight to take the win.
And I'm almost certain he'd have won 8-4 if he hadn't have found that soft spot as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you've got, Ben Cook unbeaten, Tom Brennan unbeaten from the 2 rides he's completed, and Richard Lawson only dropping a point yet, the top 3 are doing what you'd expect for Poole. The result of Heat 9 was a win for the rider in white, Tom Brennan, second in blue, Dan Thompson, and third in red, Antti Vulas. 25-28 on the afternoon, 63-80 on aggregate, and Poole are just over a handful of points away now from mathematically securing the passage to the final. To me, let's be honest, Oxford.
Yeah. Yeah, Poole 10 points away from the final now, aren't they? So
Tom made the start, but Dan was there or thereabouts. Then Tom just gets his wheel in the dirt, where Vulas was in the first running. He out Vulas.
That's a new one. But yeah.
Spinny Vinny, there's one for next season. Spinny Vinny merchandise coming soon.
Yeah. Vincent, if you listened to us, there's an idea. If you sell any, we want 50% commission each.
So 100% for us and nothing for Vinny.
Yeah. Oh,
That works. Quick maths. The lineup for Heat number 10 going off the inside gate in blue is Jason Edwards, gate 2 in yellow Zach Cook, gate 3 in red is Charles Wright, and off the outside in white, unbeaten so far, Ben Cook. Been a disappointing afternoon, I think it's fair to say, for the riders off 2 and 3 years, Zach Cook and Charles Wright.
yeah, 100%. Right, he potentially saving himself for the big meeting at Red Card tomorrow.
Possibly.
Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously
possibly.
defending his CLRC crown.
And that
Um,
meeting we won't be watching along to because Palmer's making a trip, but it is available within the Championship season pass on BSN.
and if you haven't got a season pass, you can buy it for however much it is. I don't quite know. Be about 11.99, 12.99. One of them two, I'd imagine. Start Marshall then walks away for heat number 10. Tapes right away we go. And it's a very good start again from Jason Edwards off the inside gate there. Ben Cook goes really, really wide there. And it's actually both Cooks now around the outside of Jason Edwards. Wow, what a ride from Big Cook and Little Cook. Welcome to their cafe. And Ben Cook there has the lead again. And if he goes any further faster, he'll end up going off the track and into County Durham. Zach Cook's there in second, Jason Edwards there in third. So it's the Pirates on a 5-1 over the Red Bears, just happening at Workington because British Speedway. We love it to an extent. But yeah, Ben Cook there out in front, one lap left to go. This guy is potentially too good for the championship. Zach Cook there sitting in second place. And they've got quite a gap now over Jason Edwards in the third place. And Charles Wright finishes last.
And I think that was probably it. They'll have this wrapped up before the big hitters E13, I think.
I mean, they're only 5 points away from having it wrapped up now, aren't they?
I mean, there can only be 89 points reached anyway now because of the 3-2 earlier on.
Oh, they're only 4 points away then.
And Zach Cook has really done his brother a favour there, clamped Jason Edwards down and let Ben round the outside and did really well to control it as well, to not clean him out.
100%.
The
Working,
Carry on.
Workington are the new Scunny. The wheels are falling off.
The result of E10 was a win for the rider in white, Ben Cook, second in yellow, Zach Cook, and third in blue, Jason Edwards. Charles Wright off the difficult gate there, granted, but he was nowhere, was he, to be honest? I think them tapes are
No.
getting caught on something. They seem to be lagging up a little bit late in the middle.
Could be the wind.
Possibly. Zach does the hard work here to clamp Edwards and just let Ben round the outside. Charles Wright completely missed it from the graveyard, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. But it's one of them, innit? The Pirates are virtually in the grand final. Oxford are already there. Let's be realistic.
To be fair, though, there's no shame in this for Workington. People expected them to struggle in
No,
their return, and they've made the playoffs first time of asking and advanced over the reigning champions. So it can go down as a good season. They've got one of the best tracks in the league as well. So there's plenty of positives for Workington.
for me, this is the best track in the league.
And Sam Hagen does retain his spot in this one, and Sam McGirt comes in.
So this is the race where the Poole Pirates advance, or are we just gonna see Sam McGurk absolutely shithouse this and bring us a surprise win?
Again, apologies for the language, but we have to do what we have to do. Sometimes we're expressing ourselves.
If you was watching, if you was at Scunthorpe last night and you heard me in the crowd, I apologise.
But then some of the riders should be apologising more than you for that abysmal shower of SH1T.
Yeah, I would also like to take this moment to apologise to Ashton Bowden's mother for what I said about her son. Anyway, heat number 11 coming up now. So start marshal or the fat controller, whichever one suits. Batch
Batch
had
was
a nibble there.
moving.
And are the Reds coming on?
They should be on. Nah, leave it with
No,
it.
they're
Leave it
not.
with it. He was second. He should get warned for that though. He didn't even try and hide it.
But now, as we're going to the second lap, Richard Lawson there winning at an absolute counter. Batch still in second place, being pushed all the way by Sam Hagen. Now he makes a mistake, and Sam McGurk's at the back. He's closing in on Sam McGurk's closing in on Sam Hagen, but Richard Lawson there is out front. Batch is in second, Hagen's in third. This will be enough to mathematically seal the Pirates into the grand finale, which should have been next Wednesday, but it isn't anymore. Thanks, Oxford. As we go into the last lap. And Batch makes a mistake there on Ben's 1 and 2. But Richard Lawson's ridden a perfect race there, and that is enough.
And Bat should get a warning for that because that was he didn't even try and hide the fact he moved. Didn't even try and hide it.
A warning, the ref should be coming down and giving him a big smack across the head.
And like you say, that's mathematically done with 4 to go. The result of Heat 11 was a win for the rider in white, Richard Lawson, second in red, Troy Batchelor, and third in yellow, Sam Hagen. If Workington have got any sense, they'll just crack on with the rest of this meeting now rather than an interval, because people are sat there freezing their nuts off, they're out, they just want to get home ready for a Chinese and a Grand Prix.
Yeah, 100%. Or if you like me, pasta bolognese.
Batch went miles too wide. Lawson said thank you very much. Sam Hagen was there or thereabouts, had to end up avoiding the back wheel of the other Sam. And did pressure Batch for the first lap as well, made a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, he did, and yeah, that's all she wrote really. Batch locked up there, were well out of shape. Lucky he didn't kiss the air fence.
But again, you know, Workington can take heart from this, I suppose, and it looks like we are going to take a break. Oh, come on, boys.
Just need to do a little bit of track grading.
Don't envy these people sat there with how windy it looks. Do you want to quickly run us down the individual scorers, Mush?
So, for Workington then, Charles Wright 3, Jason Edwards 6, Santi Vilas 2 and 2, Dan Thompson 6, Troy Batchelor 7, Paul Stack 4 and 1, Sam McGirt now, Richard Lawson 8, Sam Hager 1, Ben Cook 9, Zach Cook 4 and 1, Tom Brennan 6, Tobias Thompson 3, Vinnie Vard 6 and 1.
Vinnie Ford's the standout man for this meeting yet. I know it's not the highest of scorers for Paul, but he's the one that's stepped up when called upon.
Oh, 100%. He's more than done his job.
And that's what you need, any this time of the season. You know, through the league meetings, you know, you'll have your Lawsons and Brennans getting next to maximums every week, but riders like Vinnie Ford on a 3 average or whatever it is, scoring paid 7 so far, with potentially a couple more rides to come as well.
Yeah, 100%. You know, they say reserves win your meetings, and
certainly the case yet.
Oh, Vinnie Ford's the only reserve that hasn't got a naught or a EX next to his name.
Spinny Vinny. Couple of new bits of merchandise next season. Spinny Vinny and Big Cook Little Cook.
Yes. we just have to hope Big Cook and Little Cook are in the same Premiership team next season, because I can't see Ben Cook in the Championship next year, being realistic.
Potentially, especially if he's signed a deal already with, I think it's Lesh now, isn't it?
I believe he is, yeah.
Jason Edwards is watching BSN on his phone. What a boy. He's always up for a chin wag, isn't he, Jace?
Oh, always. I'll turn up at Red Car tomorrow, and I'll probably end up going straight to the pits, and we'll just chat for an hour.
He's a really nice fella. Got a lot of time for Jace. We obviously where we used to do podcasting, we sat and had about an hour's chat with Jason Edwards about this time last year actually, maybe a little
Yeah, it
bit
was.
before, and it was a really entertaining episode and chat, and he was really forthcoming.
It was. And yeah, that again is something we could maybe bring to the channel. Although podcasts are getting more and more popular now, aren't they?
Yeah, we want to do something a bit different, don't we?
Yeah,
But cool to do one, but then again with the stuff we use, I don't think we'd realistically be able to do it.
it's just one of them, isn't it? Also, we'd like to pay absolutely zero homage to that person that supposedly made us what we are.
Oh god, tired man.
You and me both, mush.
Did you go home and cry yourself to sleep last night?
Close.
Drown
I
your sorrows in chicken balls and curry
oh,
sauce.
oh I went. We stopped and got a Chinese on the way home. So I got a Chinese, and then I went and got a 4-pack from the shop. Downed all the 4 beers before my Chinese was even cooked. Got home, had my Chinese, and then cried myself to sleep.
How did your Friday night go?
In it.
Oh god, it's a good job it's me and Alan doing next Wednesday, innit?
In it just.
But you're gonna need to be around for screen sharing purposes.
Yeah,
And if it
yeah,
all
there is
goes
that.
blank, you've probably threw your laptop at the wall.
Th- There is every
You
chance.
know how the old saying goes, though, one can't go wrong with low expectations. You expect Scunny to struggle, so Tobias
If
Thompson's
we
back
hit,
on his bike.
if Scunny get 30 points on Wednesday, that's basically a win.
What was the score of the first meeting there?
Uh, 55-34.
So you need to get to 35 to be better than last time.
2 weeks ago, I'd have been confident.
And then the past 2 weeks
Now,
have happened. It's all Paul's fault. They come there and won, and the wheels have fell off.
yeah,
Paul
yeah,
ruining
F you, Paul.
Paul ruining championship speedway. Hello, Dan
Who do they
Winchester.
think they are? Chris Harris?
the the lineup for Heat 12 then as we get back underway. Going off the inside gate in yellow, back up after his trip to the floor. Tobias Thompson, gate 2 in red is Anti-Vulas. Gate 3 in white, unbeaten so far, Ben Cook, and Paul Starr comes in to replace Sam McGurk in blue.
So yeah, he had better write that reserve change in.
And
Poor shite, Sam.
this is this is a good opportunity for us to enjoy watching the pre-build up for the Grand Prix as well. This will be probably the more entertaining of the Saturday Speedway today, to be honest.
You leave an amateur meeting going on at Edinburgh alone. Oh, sugar, the tips has risen on heat number 12. And
Oh crikey!
oh, blink can you miss it, as they say.
He's having a
And
bear. Starkey's gonna stack it.
where's Stack? No, anyway, pull her on a 5-1.
Only the best.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not shoot some
I,
shale today. It's shoot yourself in the foot.
we're already there, but yeah, Paul's still on a 5-1. Little Cook out there, Jesus Christ, he could pop off to Morrison's, and he's already got this one in the bag. Tobias Thompson's there in second. Anthony last challenging in third, but can't really see him getting past. Paul Start, he may as well just stay at home this race. But yeah, great ride from Ben Cook, who does a little wheelie there afterwards.
And the wrap it up in
And
style. Paul Stark may as well have gone home after Heat 2, to be honest. He's only got one and a bonus from his other 3 rides since. Ben Cook goes through the card unbeaten from his programmed rides. And I have to say, I really fear for Workington in Heat 13 here as well, to be honest. The result of E12 was a win for the rider in white Ben Cook, second in yellow Tobias Thompson, and third in white Antivulas. I think that's rain I can see on the screen.
That's it. Call it off.
It's over as a contest. Poole have won on the afternoon as well, barring 3-5-1s even, and then it's a draw. No, it can't even do that. No, they've won on the day. That exclusion for Stark means even 3-5-1s now wouldn't get them a draw. Craig Hurtle apologises on behalf of everyone at Poole Speedway for derailing Scunny's season.
Thanks, Craig Bush.
Do you reckon the old palm tree is trying to get himself a contract with Poole? See, he's derailed Scuddy's season.
I mean, if what I've heard is any truth, is not quite going as far south as Poole.
Cool, blimey, where could he be going then?
It's a little bit further north.
What are we watching a replay of here? Ben Cook missed that by some distance. Yet somehow he got to the first. The tapes went up. They were stuck in the middle, and Ben Cook still got there off the graveyard. So can't see a rerun or anything for that.
If BSN can hear this, thanks for showing the replay because I completely and utterly missed that.
Batch is asking for the thing in the middle to be moved across out of his way. The lineup for E13 off the inside in red, Charles Wright. Gate 2 in white, Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in blue is Troy Batchelor, and off the outside in yellow, Tom Brennan. Curly says Palm Tree is not welcome at Poole. I don't think he's welcome at Scunny anymore, to be honest, much let alone Poole.
No, and if I've been told he's going is true, he's not very well liked up there either.
You'll have to message me where that is.
2 seconds and I'll do that.
Could see it being a... Oh, God. Not as far set Oxford, maybe?
So, Heat 13 and away we go. It's a very good start there for Charles Wright in red. Oh my Jesus Christ, the Workington gets turned up and he's actually winning a race. What in the world's up?
Brennan.
Oh, it's all right. Tom Brennan's up the inside there. And no, Wright is still in the lead. And Tom Brennan's now in the lead. A Poole rider winning, and all is right with the world again. And now
still
all is wrong
Brennan.
in the world again.
Still shoes come off.
Has it come off, or is it just still? That's hanging on by an absolute. Oh,
it's no use to him though.
And now
it's
the steel
gone.
come off. Hopefully that didn't clonk Richard Lawson at any point. I think it might have clonked back because God knows where he's turned up. Or he's gone, sorry. Oh, we're having a beer here. It's all right. 2 more races and we can have a beer. But for the first time in ages, we had a Workington Heat winner.
Stop the world. And Troy Batchelor gave up. So, all is right in the world again.
All is right and all was wrong.
Honestly, if I was Workington, I'd give Sam McGurk his 4th ride here. Paul Stark ain't exactly pulled up any trees, has he? Let's be honest. The result of Heat 14 was a win for the rider in red, Charles Wright, second in yellow, Tom Brennan, and third in red, Richard Lawson. Batchelor gave up, and Poole win on the day as well as on aggregate.
Yeah, they did.
I've just saw your message. Yeah, I don't think he'll be particularly welcome at that team after the last time.
He's not very. He's not very welcome there.
Is he very welcome anywhere though?
His house maybe.
Not quite Ouija land, no, Craig. Colours ain't far wrong though.
No, you're not a million miles off.
Good battle between Righty and Brennan. Tom dived up the inside and then decided to lose his steel sheet. It's definitely raining.
Oh, it are. Save on wages and stuff.
Batch, I don't know what he was doing here. His boat just gives up there. Or he does, one of the
Mm.
two. Fair play to Righty because there is contact between Brennan and Wright there.
Yeah, there is. But,
Tom's looking down at that steel shield. I'll get off. Are they going to leave Stark here or is McGurk going to get his fourth one?
Dax is in.
According to the graphic, he's. I don't know
Dark
why.
is in.
I don't know why. We bigged him up before the start and he's been Glasgow, Paul Stark. Full lineup of Heat 14 off the inside in white is Zach Cook. Gate 2 in blue, Paul Stark. Gate 3 in yellow, Vinnie Ford, who's the man of the match today, to be honest. And off the outside in
Yeah,
red is
can't
Dan
disagree.
Thompson. He has absolutely been phenomenal, and Vinnie Ford.
Big up Spinny Vinny.
And if he rides like this in
Um,
the final, Oxford, or unlikely but still mathematically possible, Scunny are in a bit of trouble.
we was already in trouble, mush. But the takes rides for heat number 14. It's a very good start there for the rider in white. Big Cook, Zach Cook, and
He's there.
Spinny Vinny comes up. He comes up the inside of the Workington lads there. And
Oh!
oh,
I don't know
he's
what he
still
was
on the
doing there.
bike.
I don't know what he was. Why on earth did he decide to go there? He's packed up.
He's packed up.
Oh, Christ on a
Pick him
bike.
up.
All is definitely right in the world again.
And just as we say that, my pen's decided to explode.
We're having a mare.
Oh, what did you do your Saturday afternoon, boys? Well, we had a mare while talking rubbish on YouTube, and we watched a bit of Speedway in between.
Zach Cook's flying.
Zach Cook's winning this one, Red's in second, Blue's third, and I give up with life.
Feel bad for Vinny there because he'd done the hard part to get past Dan Thompson and Paul Stark in the first place. It's a crap end to a good afternoon for Vinny, isn't it, that?
It is really.
Heat 14 was won by the rider in white, Zach Cook, second in red, Dan Thompson, and third in blue, Paul Stark. Oh, Dan Thompson and Jason Edwards maybe for... Dan Thompson will be there, it's just who out of Charles Wright and Jason Edwards goes with him. I don't think Batchwell, he couldn't care less, could he?
He's not really that bothered, is he?
Zach Cook and Tom Brennan maybe for Poole.
I'd give it to Spinny Vinny.
I think Vinnie Ford absolutely deserves Heat 15, to be honest.
He
Did
does.
the hard part. What on earth was he doing there?
I wish I could tell you much.
No man's land, middle of the track. Oh no, we'll go there. I like the sound of that.
Why not?
The racing has got better since track dried out, although this rain looks like it's getting a little bit heavier. That bit looked like a bit of snow or something.
Yeah. Workington will want this off now. The result's basically done in it.
Everything's done, everything's wrapped up. I don't see the need to run it. They will, but I don't know why. All the fans are gone. They've had enough.
Everything's wrapped up, even the supporters.
Do you want to run us through the individual scorers with one to go, Mush?
So Charles Wright 6, Jason Edwards 6, Anthony View last 3 and 2, Dan Thompson 8, Troy Batchelor 7, Paul Stack 5 and 2, Sam McGurk 0, Richard Lawson 9 and 1, Sam Hagan 1, Ben Cook 12, Zach Cook 7 and 1, Tom Brennan 8, Tobias Thompson 5 and 1, Vinnie Ford 6 and 1. We should have a consolation final.
No, we
Working,
shouldn't. The consolation
work,
final's about to be my Chinese being ordered in a bit.
Workington versus Scuddy, 2 legs just for
See
gigs
who
and
gets
pools.
third.
Yeah,
Gate three's not been very good. I think Poole won the toss. I'd imagine that Workington are going to go off 2 and 4 for this last one.
you'd imagine so, but
The points across the board are the Gates actually. Gate 1 has scored 29 points. Gate 2, 25. Gate 3 has scored 13 and Gate 4, 16. So actually 1 and 3 are the better gates. Although Gate 3 has had less wins, it's overall 1 and 3 have scored more points than 2 and 4 combined.
yeah, 100%. And coming up on BSN tomorrow afternoon is the CLRC. We're not doing a watch on to that because I'll be there.
And I'll be finding the will to live again.
Exactly. And then,
We
oh,
probably will have one on Monday. We'll confirm that on the day though, depending. Well, weather's supposed to be nice this week, so Oxford shouldn't be rained off Wednesday, but you never know.
I hope it absolutely bloody thunderstorms at 7 o'clock again. What? So that's Scunthorpe through to the final because Oxford can't provide a date. No problem.
Oh,
Lose a
I couldn't.
lose.
I couldn't think of a worse opponent for Poole in the final, to be honest.
In fairness, that's sort of how Scunny got to the final in 2012 when it was similar to last year, 2 groups to 3.
Hmm.
But because of time restraints, Edinburgh versus Workington couldn't be run, and Scunny had done all their fixtures and was top of the group anyway.
James Denham looks fuming.
He doesn't look the happiest.
I mean, we bigged up Anti-View last, and he's been shocking, and he's been really bad.
And looking at Gary Havelock, you wouldn't have thought his team's just made a playoff final.
Smile, man, it won't kill ya. Richie Hawkins, is that you?
Could be Richie Hawkins' dad.
This has been no controversy. People will say about the reffing in excluding Starkey. We both agree it was absolutely the right
Yeah.
decision.
No, nothing wrong with that choice.
Gary Havelock's got a stamp on his hand.
Was that the local Cumbrian nightclub entry?
Went out for pre-drinks.
Can't blame him. Wish I'd have joined him.
That brilliant ride as well from Vinnie Ford in Heat 8 was in the Speedway updates sponsored by D&D Media Heat.
See? There's things we do to put back into British Speedway. And we end up giving nicknames like Spinny Vinny.
And Tumbling Tobias.
I'm not.
Avi looks like he's trying to process every word he says before he says it.
I mean, Javi, he's got a gob like myself. He's
He looks like
he
he's
like
stuck.
he likes the odd F or two.
Yeah. And like we've said already, though, you know, it's a SH1T end for Workington, but they've done well to get there this season, and their first season in the Championship at the sharp end of it.
Oh, 100%. No, it's almost been a dream comeback season to the Championship for them, and it's very good to see them back in the Championship.
Yeah. They're back where Workington should be at the very least. Although it would be nice if they opted to move up if they got floodlights and stuff sorted. Cause this would be a welcome addition to the top league. Riders coming out for 13. We don't know who's there.
Richard Lawson's in white, Charles Wright in red. I'll tell you that much.
Dan Thompson in blue, and Zach Cook in yellow.
Justice for Spinny Vinny.
1, 4, 1, 4. It's the battle of the 1 and 4s.
Heat 13, eat your heart out.
Line up 3-15 then, going off the inside gate. In red is Charles Wright. Gate 2 in white, Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in blue is Dan Thompson. And off the outside in yellow is Zachary Cook.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And they've done well to get it all done within an hour and a half, providing there's no crashes in this one. It's been a very successful afternoon for working, well, for the running of the meeting and stuff.
Who do Workington think they are? Scunthorpe. Mind you, we had our meeting done last night pretty quick. Was walking out the gates at 8:45.
Yeah, it was done nice and quick, and Rob Godfrey even did an unusual track grade after the first one. I'd imagine that was to bring in the dirt from the outside when Oxford had the favoured gates, and it did not work. It just upset Scunnies with them.
Yeah.
Righty in though, that's a strange decision for me, that.
It's a weird one, but maybe he was one of the only ones that wanted to do it.
Yeah, because it's not just a case of picking, is it? They have to want to do it, and
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a bit
the
of
two
extra
guests
pocket
have
money, isn't
deserved.
it?
I was going to say, I think the two guests have deserved it, to be honest.
Tapes rise them for 8:15, and away we go. Richard Lawson's made it absolutely perfect, and Righty looking to go. Oh, that could have been nasty for Righty as Zach Cook goes around the outside there. Dan Thompson in blue, and Dan hitting a soft spot there as well, and that's ultimately ended his challenge this race. The Pirates are on a 5-1, and this is virtually all she wrote. The Pirates are going to win massively on the night. And yeah, right, he looks like he wants to kill Zach Cook as he comes up the bends.
These two have had issues before, to be fair.
That explains everything.
Right, he's just out of shape. He's dangerous, man.
He's dangerous when he's in shape. But yeah, Poole Pirates are on a 5-1. Well, it was already sealed about half an hour ago, but that's all she wrote. 1-0-3-2.
Charles Wright did Dan Thompson no favours at all then. And
Charles Wright not being a team player.
Charles
Never.
Wright not coming round and shaking it, which is sort of the unwritten rule, isn't it? Like it's just an etiquette thing.
Yeah, you just go around and shake your opponent's hand, don't you?
They were beat. I know it was only a guest, but they were still beaten by the better team today.
100%.
But Charles Wright's had two cracks at it with two different teams and still hasn't made the playoff final. The result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in white Richard Lawson, second in yellow Zach Cook, and third in red Charles Wright, making the final score Workington 36, Poole 53, and 74 to 105 overall. Palmer, do you want to quickly run us through the final scores before we sack this off and go and have a beer and a Chinese or something?
So, my maths might not be right, so if BSM put them up on the screen about now, that would be great, because I haven't done my adding up.
Do you want me to do it?
Oh, if you've got them, go on then. We'll give you the honour.
Charles Wright scored 7, Jason Edwards 6, Antivulas 3 and 2, Dan Thompson 8, Troy Batchelor 7, Paul Stark 5 and 2, Sam McGurk failed to score. For Poole, Richard Lawson 12 and 1, Sam Hagan 1, Ben Cook got a 4-ride 12-point maximum, Zach Cook 9 and 2, Tom Brennan 8, Tobias Thompson 5 and 1, and Vinnie Ford 6 and 1.
So, I believe that concludes us for today's watch along.
Yeah, that'll be it for today.
If you've got enough or better to do tonight, there's a GP on the box. 5:30, I believe that starts.
With tapes
so,
at 6.
That's the one. So it's either 5:30 or 4:30, one or the other. But yeah, that's a wrap for us anyway this afternoon. Massive thank you for joining us. Apologies about me having an absolute mare. And we'll probably see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.